Hi Priya, hi Rashmi.
Hi, Chandrani.
So we were discussing networking and building relationships, and I was just wondering in sales, how do you ensure that like every effort you make towards building a relationship is genuine for the customer or the other person, a coachee, and not perceived as just a self-serving act. How do you ensure? How do you gain that trust to make the other person open up in the first place?
Hmm. Hey, that's an interesting question, and I think it's very useful to understand as well that the very premise in which networking or relationship building happens is the fact that there is some self-interest. Each person has some self-interest to achieve something meaningful with the other person, or they need that particular action to drive something bigger for them. So that is quite a understood fact. You can't really deny it. You can't say I'm going out all there without any intent. The intent is there, but recognizing that every person has self-interest, and how do I bring this the power of various self-interest to achieve something bigger. For example, in a sales context, you are you know that whatever you are serving or having anything that you have as a service or as a product is going to bring greater value for the person in front of you, which could be a customer, which could be a prospect. But recognizing that and helping the other person see value in that, and helping the other person articulate his interest about whatever you're bringing to the table, is going to be that act, or it's a dance of self-interest, which is going to help people achieve more together. So
Right.
without self-interest, there's nothing, but learning to enjoy the act of recognizing self-interests of people and expanding it should be the nature of every sales professional. What do you say, Rashmi? What are your thoughts there?
Totally, totally. It's about an exchange of the value that you can bring to the other, which is beyond trying to sell one's services or products. And in a networking event, and I've attended several, and uh, sometimes I do hear people saying that, hey, I went to that networking event and they were just trying to sell me stuff because it was a network event for, coaches or speakers or trainers. So, and I didn't want that. Or if I'm, I have another sales event and I'm just going out there to talk about myself. Again, that doesn't work because, hey, where's the intent of also understanding, what is it that the other person is looking for? And then stepping into that value. So it all starts with the intent, I think, the intent of really finding out what the other person is looking for, and if what you're offering um, uh, kind of fits together, if it's going to bring value, the openness to hear and the openness to receive would be much higher. And like Priya shared, that it is, everybody is there for self-interest, and it's the alignment of those interests that is going to create that value. But the intent to create value is the starting step.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think once again, I'm very fond of archetypes, and I kind of look at these personas that you have to embrace to kind of go through this process, and a very important process because it's an exchange of value. I think having that sage as well as the fool persona in coupled together, so having that ability to bring out that intent in a very, very powerful manner. It doesn't need so much of noise, but it is sharp. It's very, very pointed, and it's visible because it brings out this. How would you bring it out if you were in the shoes of a sage? And
Yeah.
coupling it with the fool, because you need to have the ability to be vulnerable, to ability to to not take something too critically. And if something is not going right, that it's only when you are able to have this in pair, then the other person also sees that, hey, I'm having a person who is trying to do something. So having that ability to bring out that vulnerable nature inside you, but yet with something which is very sharp and focused. When you have that as it's a very potent combination. And we need to learn to use this appropriately, especially when you have to break pathways, right? So if there is a sense of guard on, hey, is this person going to, make me do something that I'm not really interested in, rather to say, hey, this is something very valuable. Why didn't I think about it? Or is this going to help me, get better at what we are doing as an organization? Or is it going to help us to grow better? Those are all things that can happen when you see the genuine value of something, and yet it is coupled with not taking something so critical and being so close to what's happening outside. So if a sales professional imbibes this combination of these two personalities, I feel it'll help people to warm up to them, and it opens door so that value, what Rashmi said, is visible, rather than it coming with any sense of trepidation or uncertainties or doubts or anything. It's kind of, it looks honest and authentic. And I think
Yeah.
that's the beauty, that you can break pathways in that way.
Right, right. Thank you so much, Priya. Thank you so much, Rashmi. That was a very, very important question. And thankfully, you all gave me the right answer, because I think a lot of people on the sales side are kind of a little confused about this situation. So yeah, I hope that, it does help people to resolve their issues.
Wonderful. We don't know whether we gave the right answers. We gave the answers that we understand and we are sharing, but I hope it's useful to the other person. When it is useful, then it looks like it is right. When it is not useful, then I don't think it's serving anybody. But I hope what we both shared kind of resonates, and people are able to kind of gain some perspectives. It's always about perspective taking in these conversations, and that's what I hope it's given to people. Thank you.
Yeah.